y'all, and welcome to today's video. I'm very excited because I bought the new Blend Bunny Cosmetics Surge palette. This is my first time trying Blend Bunny Cosmetics, so that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to do a true first impression. I have never tried this brand. I really want to play. I want to use a bunch of different shadows. I want to swatch them. I want to get a feel for the formulas and see what I think of this palette. And if you are new here, hey, my name is Heather and makeup makes me happy. Here at my channel, we don't try to be perfect. We just want to have a good time with our makeup, whatever that means. Shimmer, glitter, testing new indie eyeshadow palettes. We are here for it. So if that sounds good to you, I do hope that you will subscribe before you leave today, because I upload lots and lots and lots and lots of new content every single week. But I am very excited to play with some eyeshadow, so let's jump into it. Y'all, I did buy this palette from Blend Bunny. This is the Surge palette, and this is my first time trying the brand. This is, as you can see, very colorful, and this is really pretty. I saw this, we talked about it in a Judging New Makeup. I was really into it. So were y'all. Like, I love this row of neons. We have one row of like shimmery metallic shades. We have very deep tones here, and then we have more like muted colors right up here. So I'm excited to try this. The packaging is just very sleek cardboard packaging with the Blend Bunny name here, Surge, and then their logo, which is so cute. I don't know a ton about the brand, but I think it is just like a one family owned brand. I may be wrong about that, so definitely don't quote me, but I've seen so many people here on YouTube loving Blend Bunny and their first palette that I was like, you know what, this palette dropped, the color story was beautiful, I want to try the formulas. I am going to insert swatches for you. I swatched this, and I will say mattes are very hard to swatch. They don't give you that impact that shimmer swatches do, but I really had fun swatching this palette, seeing the tones of it. So hopefully my swatches for y'all are helpful. I want to do two different eye looks. Again, this is just going to be a first impression. I'm just going to be trying this, seeing how I like the formula, what I think, because this is a new to me brand. So I'm very excited about that. I'm going to prime my eyes and zoom y'all in. Alright, I used my Acid Rain primer. I will link it down below for y'all. I feel like I've done a good bit of blue and green shadows lately in my past few videos, really with blue especially. So I think today what we'll do is we'll focus more on like the purples, reds, like maybe this side of the palette. I'm not saying I'm not gonna dip over here, I still might, but I'm gonna steer away from doing a blue eye, and we are gonna do two different looks. Again, I just want to play with the shadows. I could use a little makeup therapy and just time to play and test and see what we think about these formulas. My favorite way to apply eyeshadow is with an unset eye primer. So this is just the eye primer, no powder on top. I am going to go in first with my What's Up Beauty R105, and I want to go straight in to Grunge, this shade right here, this very deep shade. And we're going to pick this up, and we're gonna pack it on. Okay, so far this shade is looking great. It's staying pigmented. It's not grabbing to the primer weird. It's just, it went on really easily. Wow, that's really pretty and pigmented. I'm not going to worry about blending it. I'm going to blend it out with something else. But I want to try kind of a different technique over here on this eye. So to me, a good eyeshadow, you can start with the light color or the dark color. It doesn't matter. So I want to do like different techniques just to test this out. So we started with the dark color over here. Over here on this side, I'm going to start with a light color. I'm going to go in with this shade Beckon right here. It's kind of like a springtime purple. I'm going to make sure I have no creases in my eye primer. And I'm going to buff this big time all over here. This is a very light pastel purple, and I'm just super duper blending it back and forth. Okay, now for over here, I'm going to go into this shade Taboo, the shade that's a little bit more red, just a little bit of a different tone, and I'm going to blend right along the edges here. Again, I'm blending, but I'm not worried about getting the blend super perfect because I'm still going to layer another shade. But I just want to buff those two together. Okay, then jumping back over here, I want to go in with a little bit smaller of a brush than I used at first, and I want to go in with Stay. Again, for this eye, we're going darkest to lightest. This eye, we're going lightest to darkest. And I'm going to take that, buff it all over. I want to see how these shadows layer on top of each other. And I'm just buffing this. I'm not going to buff it quite as high as I took that very pale purple, but still fairly high. Okay, now for over here, I'm going to go into cheeks. This very light pale pink color. Again, this pink and that light purple we first started with really reminded me of like Easter pink, Easter purple, and I'm using this to blend right on top. And I'm just gonna buff it in. Okay, and then jumping over here, we're gonna go in with an even darker shade. I'm going in with Covet right here, the deep purple. So we're just working straight down the line here. And I'm going to keep this lower than the others. And I want to make sure I match the shape over here. So I'm just going to go back and forth blending. But I like that. Okay, so far what I'm seeing is it didn't matter if I worked light to dark. Well, over here, light to dark or dark to light. I still got a nice blend. Everything built very well. It layered really well. So far so good. Alright, over here with this eye, I'm going to jump into Juicy. And I'm picking this up on a flat brush. And I'm going to put this right up against my lower lash line. And I'm going to blend like this. I really want to keep that color impactful. So when I'm blending, I'm just kind of wiggling the brush around. But I'm not going in super hard. I don't want to lose any of that color. So I want to keep it super saturated like that. Over here, I'm going to jump into this shade right here called Locked. There's a green, like this whole row of greens, and then we also have this olive shade over here that I think is really pretty. And again, I'm using the same type of technique. Okay, over here, I really want to dip into these neons. So I'm going to go in with the shade Power. Right down here, I'm picking this up on a pencil brush from Sigma, and I'm just going to use that to kind of blend out the deeper orange. Now, underneath my eye, I just have like concealer and powder. I used my ABH concealer today and then my Maybelline Fit Me loose powder. So down here, there's no eye primer and there's no powder, and I mean there's no eye primer and there is powder, and I can still see the neon. Didn't that become like a bit brighter? That's really fun. And then over here, we're going to do the same thing, but I'm going to dip into Chemistry, which I think is a cute name for this kind of radioactive green shade. So I'm picking that up on a Sigma pencil brush, and I'm going right under and around. Okay, when I put my fingers in these shimmer shades, they remind me a little bit of like the Beauty Bay shimmer formula. If you know that formula that when you press your finger into it, it kind of like gives and you can see your finger impression. So what I think I'm going to do is use my Lit Daily Glitter Base. This is just like very liquidy. I'm going to put it all over my lid. And then for this side right here, I'm going to go in with the shade All Mine. And then over here, I'm going to go in with the shade Euphoric. Okay, this texture is very interesting. It's kind of hard to pick up on the brush. I think next time I use it, I will use a different brush. This is the E55 brush from Sigma. So I'll definitely play with that shade again in the future and maybe use some different techniques. But I feel like I've got it. I feel like I've got it looking pretty good. Okay, to highlight the inner corner, I'm going to use the same shade on both eyes. I'm going to go in with this shade right here called Flash. This is a really pretty color that seems to have a lot of dimension to it. It looks kind of basic in the pan, but on you can definitely see like there's some different types of shimmer to it that give it a little bit more dimension. But I'm going to throw on some liner and lashes, and then I'll come back and kind of gather my thoughts, give you my first impressions. Okay, y'all, these are our finished eye looks. I threw on some Allure 141 lashes that I've worn probably too many times. They probably need to be thrown away, but I really like the eye looks. I had fun playing with this palette, testing it out. I'm wearing my Sigma Lip Duo from the Cinderella collection, as well as the Cheek Duo. Those are the other things I have on my face, but I really have fun playing with makeup. I have fun testing new formulas, new brands, new eyeshadows. So I really enjoyed playing with this. I only tried 13 shades. 13 out of what? 13 out of all these shades. I really want to play more with these shimmers, but I have to say I'm very impressed by the mattes, specifically this dark row right here. I really like that. I want to play more with this palette. I want to play more with these neons too. I have to say I'm so excited about these dark mattes right here. Like, that is very exciting to me. I can't wait to play with this more. Again, this is just a first impression. This isn't a review or anything like that. I just got this palette. I wanted to play with makeup, and I wanted to see kind of, you know, when you test something out, that initial thought of how did these shadows work. I had fun working dark to light, light to dark, and of course I'm going to be playing more with this palette. I'll definitely update you once I play with it more and more. I always follow up my palette videos. No matter what, I review my new palettes. I like to rank them, kind of give you my full thoughts. So just know I will be testing this more, but first impression is really good. I really like the eye look. What do you think? I really had fun working with the dark mattes especially. But thank y'all so much for watching. I will link everything down below for y'all if you're curious. I cannot remember any of the discount codes off of the top of my head, but if you head over to Blend Bunny's Instagram, they are really good about sharing their affiliates and things like that. So there are discount codes for this palette. Thank y'all for watching. I will see you very soon in another video. Bye.